Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Vacant Light. I'm back today with a review, and today I'm reviewing Colonel Blast for the Greater Good. Quite an interesting sort of piece of artwork here on the disc. Very iconic for the band. Colonel Blast is a new band from the UK, and they're a band whose style is very hard to categorize and describe, which is one of the reasons I really wanted to do this review. Colonel Blast combines a number of styles from maybe ideas and concepts that you're familiar with. Combine death metal styles, grindcore, gothic metal, more melodic aspects as well. But they combine it in a way that's unique and interesting. Now this is a full-length album, and so far the only available material from Colonel Blast, as far as I know. It has 8 tracks, and the tracks tend to be about 4 or so minutes long. So, although this is not a long release, it's definitely an enjoyable one, and it's definitely notable in my opinion. Now, I'm going to talk about the instrumentation here, which is quite interesting and sort of gives you a good idea of what to expect from this band here. The vocals, in my opinion, are most similar to a kind of gothic metal style. They're somewhat high-pitched, very in-your-face, very, shocking, kind of gripping. I thought that part was very interesting, and they don't quite take it to the extreme level that some other of those types of bands would do, say, compared to Cradle of Filth. It's not that crazy, high-pitched shrieking. It's more of a combination of a death metal influence with the gothic metal style. And it's quite interesting as well, because this band isn't really a gothic metal band or, a black metal band or any type of style that would typically take on that type of vocal, so it's kind of an interesting mix. And although it's not quite in line with the other parts of the music here, it works well. Guitar-wise, Colonel Blast shows a lot of diversity. There's a lot of very aggressive moments, such as on the Beacon. On that track, you can almost hear a brutal death metal influence there with the guitar riffs. But in other points, there's a lot of melody going into it as well, and the guitar plays a good role in walking the fine line between the melodic and the more brutal aspects of the music. So for me, the guitar work is actually the highlight of the album in terms of instrumentation, just because it has the most diversity and it plays all the parts quite well. You'll get a number of interesting breakdowns, more acoustic passages, just very in-your-face stuff, and then also more melodic parts there as well, which are still aggressive, but not to the same extent as the more brutal parts, obviously, on the release. The bass player here can be heard sort of as a blend with the music. The bass tends to blend in with the guitar a lot, which is, it's not bad, but I wish it was more distinct and more audible on its own. For me, the one exception to that rule really was for the Greater Good Part 2, where the deep bassy tone was one of the most important aspects of the music. So I really like that track in particular for that reason, and that actually is my favorite track on this release. Not only for that particular reason, but just the blend of styles and the blend of influences there worked quite well. Now, the drumming here is well done, and it's very enjoyable, but it's not quite as diverse as the guitar work. I find that even in the more melodic parts of this album, the drumming tends to be more straightforward, aggressive, and brutal, though the fills are good and the rhythms are very interesting and not necessarily predictable. So drumming's great and very interesting, though not as diverse as the guitar work. Now, as I mentioned, my favorite track here is For the Greater Good Part 2. And the other songs I really enjoyed the most were For the Greater Good Part 1, Savor the Flavor, and Blowfed Never Died. Savor the Flavor and For the Greater Good Part 1 really felt like almost like the title tracks of this release, despite the differing titles. Particularly, there were moments in those songs where the music really built up quite well, everything came together, and there's just one vocal line that nailed the song for me. Like in Savor the Flavor, when he says, yells Savor the Flavor, it really brings everything together. It's the apex of the music. And there's a similar point for me in For the Greater Good Part 1. I just thought that was really well done and very epic. And Blowfed Never Died. I thought that song was really well done because it was sort of the best combination of the melodic guitar riffing and the aggressive drumming at the same time. I really felt that that track pulled together the different styles quite well. Musicians were playing diverse stuff at the same time, but it kind of blended well in a really interesting way. All in all, though, I didn't dislike any of the songs on here. If anything, there were certain passages or riffs that I found to be a little too aggressive without any concept of melody or any concept of fitting it into the other parts of the song. Like, there was a lot of chaos on here, but for the most part, the chaos does work quite well. All in all, I'd have to say that Colonel Blast's first full-length album, For the Greater Good, is an enjoyable release. It's definitely different, unique, and it combines styles in a very interesting way. So I definitely recommend this album to anybody who likes death metal or gothic metal or just any music that's really in your face, even like hardcore punk attitude kind of stuff. So thanks for watching this video and have a good one.